Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble home in Livingston, Montana. And I've got the 9th of December of 2020. And it's 11:29 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for whatever good any of this stuff means. Okay, this is one of those videos where I'm sitting here dumber than a box of rocks. I have no idea how I'm going to proceed. I've got no script. I've got, no text before me, no notes, no nothing. But I'm going to get this straight on my channel if it's the last thing I do. Every once in a while I'll get somebody that writes me and they want it, which there's nothing wrong with it. I've made it so that people can email me, and if it's something that I fit in with or whatever, I'm glad to email back and whatever have you. But there's times that I get emails and I don't particularly care for the subject matter, like this mess that's going on in America right now with politics, this crooked election, and all that. Okay, here's what my problem is. I had to make a decision, and there's been several times that I've had to turn away from the direction that my channel was going because I found myself involved with negative subjects, stuff I didn't really want to talk about but was bothering me, and yet I ended up talking about it and making a video about it and all that. In other words, what I'm trying to say is wallowing around in negative and wallowing around in what's going on, the problems that we got in America isn't going to solve anything. You got to do something about it. You got to make plans for the future or whatever have you. You got to become a prepper. You got to learn to be a survivalist. And this is what's going to happen. Because I know in my 760-some videos throughout the years, I have mentioned many times how us human beings are failing because we've destroyed the earth. We keep making wars. I've got videos that go way back saying the same thing. And all anything's done is just gotten worse. It's just gotten worse is all. And what happens with a guy like me when I wallow around in this kind of stuff, it just depresses me. And a lot of people write to me and they'll say stuff like, well, I'm a patriot and blah, blah, blah. That's all well and good. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm right with you there. But that's how being a Vietnam veteran, I had 2 top security clearances in satellite communications with the United States Army. I got stuff running around in my head that would scare you to death. Okay, but I can't really talk about it because I know nobody's going to believe anything I've got to say. But I'll throw one juicy thing out here before I do get on with what I got to say here. I happen to know firsthand that they were planning what I call the oil wars. All these wars that went on over in the Middle East, they were planning those wars before the Vietnam War even got over with. How do you like that? Yeah, that is human beings, that's all we've learned how to do is destroy Mother Earth and destroy each other. That's why this civilization's never going to go anywhere. That's why I've said many, many times on my channel that I'm giving this earth about 300 to 500 years and mankind's going to be gone because of all the crap, basically the 7 deadly sins, Okay, now if people want to write to me about political problems or something, that's fine, but I really don't like making videos. I've said many, many times I want to steer away from this kind of stuff because with my big mouth of, my boot tongue or boot jack mouth, whatever they call it, me blabbering all this stuff and 1,500 people doing the same thing on YouTube, or 15,000 or whatever have you. This is all well and good, but it's not solving the problem. Now, I had a guy, and Rich, I don't give out last names. A lot of times I don't even say where a person is from and all that kind of stuff. You just wrote me an email here the other day, and you told me that, anything that you said, you didn't want me to use your last name. I don't use people's last names. I don't dox people. But anyway, I had a fellow write me by the name of Rich. He knows who he is, and he explained to me why he was writing and telling me, that he was a patriot. Good, Rich, I'm glad and all that. And by the way, Rich, don't send me those Grant books, because I'm not much of a book reader, okay, for one thing, and I don't want to have to. I already know what's screwed up, okay? I do. And I just don't want to be tied up having to mail stuff back and forth and all this other stuff. So I appreciate it, but I'm not much of a reader. I mean, most anything that I research and I read in my old age, I read off the internet. But this rich fellow that emailed me sent me an excerpt who I don't know who wrote this. I have no idea. I'm going to tell you right, I'm going to read it to you, but I'm going to tell you at the outset that I believe about 75% of it, but 25% of it I don't. Because we live in a day and age where there's so many conspiracy theories floating around, especially on the internet, that a person can go plumb nuts, diving into this stuff. The way it is with conspiracy theories and stuff like that, for it, in order to not be a conspiracy theory, you need evidence, you need facts, and stuff like that. That's why I don't get too involved with conspiracy theories, because a lot of people that support conspiracy theories don't have enough credible evidence, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, here's an excerpt that somebody wrote that a fellow by the name of Rich sent to me, and I decided to just make this file, even though I didn't really want to, because I don't want my channel going off in a negative direction. It's for my own help. It's not, man, I've never trusted the government ever since the Vietnam War. So none of this stuff is new to me. None of it. Okay, here we go. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know who wrote this. Okay, it's subject, sad story. Okay, let me make sure my screensaver don't kick on, because it does that from time to time, especially when I get long-winded. Okay, for those who don't get it, now you understand why there was never any action against the Clintons or Obama. I'm going to tell you one thing right out the get-go. I never did like Billy Clinton. And I've already explained all that. How they destroyed emails and evidence and phones and servers, how they spied and wiretapped, how they lied to FISA, FISA, had conversations on the tarmac, sent emails to cover their asses after key meetings, how Comey and Brennan and Clapper never were brought to any justice. There is no justice in this country, by the way. The rich people and all that stuff in the in crowd, they don't go to jail. It's just poor people. It's just people that piss somebody off. I've been bitching about our judicial system forever. That's one of the crookedest parts of the government. That's how they get away with all this stuff. Anyway, how the FBI and CIA lied, how the Steele dossier was passed along, how phones got factory reset, how leak after leak to an accomplice media went unchecked, why George Soros is always in the shadows, why Romney and Paul and Bush and McCain were all involved, why they screamed Russia and pushed a sham impeachment, why no one ever goes to jail, why no one is ever charged, why nothing ever happens, why there is no why there was no wrongdoing in the FISA warrants, why the Durham report was delayed, why Hunter Biden, which that wasn't in here, but why Hunter Biden will walk scot-free while the FBI sat on the laptop, why the Biden's connection to China was overlooked as it was unleashed while connection to China was overlooked as was unleashed a perfect weapon, a virus that could be weaponized politically to bring down the greatest ever economy and usher in unverifiable mail in voting, why the media is 24/7 propaganda and lies, why up is down and down is up, why right is wrong and wrong is right, why social media silences the First Amendment and speaks over the President of the United States. This has been the plan by the deep state all along. More than likely, guys like me have been screaming about all this stuff forever, but nobody listens. That's another reason why I don't like doing these kind of videos. They couldn't expect Trump to win in 2016. He messed up their plans, delayed it a little. They weren't about to let it happen again. COVID was weaponized. Governors helped shut down their states. The media helped shame and kill the economy. And the super lucky, unverifiable mail-in ballots were just the trick to make sure the career politician allegedly with hands in Chinese payrolls that couldn't finish a sentence or finish a sentence or collect a crowd, miraculously become the most popular vote recipient of all time. You have just witnessed a coup, the overflow of the U.S. free election system, the end of our constitutional republic, and the merge of capitalism into the slide towards socialism. What will happen next? Expect the borders to be opened up, increased immigration. Expect agencies like CBP and INS and Homeland Security to be muzzled or even deleted. Law enforcement will see continued defunding. The Electoral College will be gone. History erased. 2 Supreme Court judges might be removed. The Supreme Court will be packed. See, that doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, your Second Amendment will be attacked. If you have a manufacturing or oil industry job, get ready. If you run a business, brace for impact. Maybe you'll be on the hook for slavery reparations, or have your suburbs turned into Section 8 housing. Your taxes are going to go up, and businesses will pay more. I could go on, and whoever this I is, I don't know. That's the deal here. There is no real recovery from this. The elections from here on will be decided by New York City, Chicago, and California. The republic will be dead. Mob rule and appeasement will run rapid. The candidate who offers the most from the Treasury will get the most votes. But the votes voted won't matter, just the ones received and counted. That precedent has been set. Benjamin Franklin was walking out of the Independence Hall after the Constitutional Convention in 1787 when someone shouted out, "Doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy?" Franklin responded, "A republic if you can keep it." Ladies and gentlemen, you will now lose your republic. You turned from God. You turned from family. You turned from country. You embraced degeneracy culture. You celebrated and looked to fools. You worshipped yourself selfishly as you took for granted what men died to give you. You disregarded history and all it teaches. On your watch, America has died a little. It's likely she'll never be the same again. Some of you have no idea what you've done. Sadly, some of you did. Well, I got news. A lot of that stuff I agree with, and a lot of that stuff, but I know one thing. I'm not going to sit here and take no blame because I've been in the realization department for a long, long time. I've been screeching about, us not taking care of each other, us not being good humanitarians, us not being good stewards of each other, us not being good stewards of this earth, and on and on and on. But that's not what my channel, that's the point here, and my video is really supposed to be all about. In my channel, I'm going back to the very beginning of time. I just wanted to have a simple little channel where I could show the great outdoors in Montana and our mountains, our rivers, and all that kind of stuff. But it is kind of difficult because I'm getting up there in age, and I've got nobody to help me. My family's all off making, doing their thing. I don't live their lives for them. They got their own careers and kids and all that other stuff. And so, it's not that I'm not concerned, and it's not that I'm putting my head in the sand. It's just that what can you do about it? What can I do about it? The only thing I figure that can be done is that the tables have to be wiped clean. In other words, the form of government that we've got somehow or the other has got to be overthrown. But how to do that is beyond me. But I can tell you this much. There is a bunch of guys and gals out there that are, they've got, what do you want to call it, patriot groups, what do they call those people, Jesus Christ, man, I don't need to have a head, a memory lapse at the preppers. Yeah, I was going to say I don't need to have a memory lapse towards the end of this speech because I don't want to give it again. But you got preppers and you got people that are expecting the end of the world and are heavily armed, and you got all this stuff going on. This stuff's been going on for a long time. So I just figured it would be better for me to try to just stick to what I want to do and all that, and stay away from the Soroses and the Clintons and the Obamas and all this kind of stuff. I know these are crooked people. We haven't had a decent president since John F. Kennedy. I said that not too long ago. Anyway, this video here is way too long. I know, 18 minutes right now. Way too long. I don't like making long videos. I don't like making this political stuff. We've got problems, ladies and gentlemen, here in the United States. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the key to this whole mess is what to do. Because a guy sitting here like this screaming into a webcam, it ain't getting nothing done. It might raise people's awareness a little bit, but it's not going to change the fact. So that's all I've got to say on this subject, and I got to get out of here before I get a headache. Thank you for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves and do what you got to do in order to survive. Adios, my friends. We'll see you on down the trail.